And go ahead, Chris.
Welcome, everybody, to the Speedway Review. This is the pre-Daytona edition. Boy, I cannot believe we are finally here, 4 days away from Daytona. I'm Chris Burns. With me, as always, Corey Huffnagel, Jordan Balasico, and somewhere making the most delicious margarita you could ever have in the history of your life is Tori Calhoun. But you see the banner at the bottom of the screen. I would like to throw a special happy 14th birthday to my race buddy, my daughter, Emma Marie Burns. That is a picture of her when she was a year old.
Oh, nice.
That's her at Mystic Aquarium. If you go slow, I'll give you a little backstory on some of these pictures. That's a shark hat. And I said, put the shark hat on your head and pretend you're being bit. So that was her right there. Next picture, that was her first ever concert. You can tell she dragged me to that kicking and screaming. By the way, notice the hat. It's the 29 Kevin Harvick Kiss Car hat from 2004. Let's see what we got next. She still does have some Kevin Harvick stuff.
Nice.
I tried to raise her right, but eventually she went the other way, which I was okay with. Dad, can I pick my own driver? I said, anybody but Kyle Busch or Jimmy Johnson. So she went with Martin Truex Jr. As you can see, that beautiful jacket was courtesy of Corey Huffnagel.
You're welcome.
Oh, she loves it, man. Corey's so cool for getting me this. And that's her and I. Photo taken by Corey Huffnagel.
Appreciate that.
At New Hampshire Motor Speedway. She had a blast. And she was the first one to point out that Kyle Busch had wrecked. I wasn't looking that way. I was looking toward the clouds, seeing if the rain was coming. And she was like elbowing me. Dad, what? Kyle Busch just wrecked. I'm like, you win. This is going to be the best day of your life, man. And of course, in the Geico restart zone is my daughter right there. Now, the question, I still love that picture. She was about 9 months old there. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
She's still beautiful. And of course, in my favorite shirt, Corey knows that shirt, the FKB shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Now, people have asked me, how did your daughter become a Martin Truex Jr. fan? You were a Kevin Harvick guy. You know, your wife at the time was a Casey Kane, cheerer. Her grandmother, Karen, who I love to death, unfortunately root for Jimmy Johnson. I said she saw a commercial on television. And the minute she saw it, she goes, who's that guy? I said, that's Martin Truex Jr. She goes, I like him. He's my favorite. So if you would be so kind as to roll that beautiful bean footage for these folks, we will see what drove Emma to Martin Truex Jr.
All right. Let's see how it is.
Heart, I can't help you. Rocket science, don't know what to tell you. I may not know how to get to the moon, but when I want to fly, my crew knows what to do. Crank around the wheel in the left rear. You're only turning 9,000, need another gear. Never know how.
It was,
So I wish I would have found the picture of her in her little blue Martin Truex Jr. Napa Know-How shirt. She lived in that thing for at least a year. She loved it. So I got to give her credit where credit is due. She's like her dad. She got good taste in drivers, knows how to pick a winner. So good on her. And thank you guys for indulging me on this little trip down memory lane, as yesterday, February 15th, was Emma's 14th birthday. So from all of us, Emma, straight to you, happy birthday. Guys, feel free to say happy birthday at some point.
Yeah, happy birthday, Emma. My bad.
Good Lord. Who raised you?
My mom.
Anyway, before we get into the bulk of the show, I want to give you guys a little heads up. Toward the end of the broadcast, Jordan was able to secure Xfinity driver Jesse Iwuji for a short little talk. And just so happens being Black History Month, he is someone that I'm excited to talk to. I'm sure you guys are too. And do not forget, 1 week from today, Thor Sport number 98 Toyota, Christian Eckes will be here with us for a good hour talking about all things truck racing and all things Christian Eckes. So do not miss it. So, who has news and notes before we preview Daytona?
Well, I would like to start that one off.
Okay.
So if you guys haven't noticed, Busch Light made an announcement just yesterday.
Numbers are everything in NASCAR. From your car to your stats to your season ranking. But right now, there's one number that stands out. 0. Why?
I've been looking for glory.
There's the challenge of just getting on the track. Then, the pressure of breaking barriers and inspiring a generation of future drivers. It's a sport where sponsors are more than just a logo on a car. They help you build, stay on track, and celebrate in victory lane. But they can also drive real change. That's why Busch Light is making a first-of-its-kind commitment to support all women drivers in NASCAR today. And for the years to come. Here's to the future of NASCAR.
Very, very cool. There's Stephanie Moyer, Melissa Fifield. I hope I'm saying that right, Melissa. Brittany Zamora, Jennifer Jo Cobb, who you guys have seen before. Amber, I'm not even going to attempt that. Good job, Amber. Of course, we all know Natalie Decker. God, you guys got to get names like Jones. They're making it hard.
That's Tony Brettinger.
Okay. Brettinger, there you go. Thanks for joining in. One thing I want to mention, and I don't want to sound sexist or misogynist, there are several, and some of them we saw right there, and one conspicuous by our absence is Haley Deegan. There are some great women drivers that just unfortunately have gotten passed over when a media darling who wrecked everything except the flag stand got a full-time ride with Stewart Haas Racing, when in my opinion she didn't deserve it. So congratulations to Busch Light for pushing diversity even further. Now we have, Mexican drivers, African-American drivers, Canadian drivers, Colombian drivers, and now more women drivers. That is probably one of the best things you'll ever see.
Yeah.
How we doing, Tori? My man.
I'm doing, excuse me, I'm doing very good. Very, very good, bro.
You know how I know he's doing good? He's in the club.
Yeah.
And there's no echo.
That's right.
Really?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Dude, so I just had to buy a new set of headphones.
Well, congratulations on your awesome purchase. None of us sound like Lou Gehrig anymore. Now, Corey, you had some news and notes you wanted to share with the folks.
All right, so this was just announced today that Ty Gibbs is going to be running full-time in the Xfinity Series this season, driving the 54 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. He's going to have sponsors such as Monster Energy, Interstate Batteries, and Sport Clips. And by God, guys, after the season he had last year, winning 5 races, immediately I said, this kid is literally going to get a full-time ride. I don't care if it's in like trucks or Xfinity, whatever. He pretty much just earned it, and now he's going to be running full-time for the Xfinity Series this year. And, guys, I think this is going to be a very interesting Xfinity season this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I say, check this out, Corey. You might think I'm losing my mind, but I say like 6 to 7 years, maybe less, he'll be in the Cup Series.
I can possibly see that.
Mm-hmm.
I would say 4 years if it were me.
Yeah.
If he keeps going. Go ahead.
The Biff is back.
Yeah.
Gee, Biff!
Yep.
Oh, my Lord. Greg Biffle coming back, even if it's on a one-time or, one and done, it's always good to see Greg Biffle out there. A guy who never won a championship, but in my opinion, he was a great, great driver.
Oh, yeah. And you know who Greg Biffle was spotted by?
No.
None other than the great Benny Parsons.
Nice.
When Benny Parsons told Jack Roush, hey, you got to look at this kid, Greg Biffle, and he's been pretty good. And sure enough, in the late 90s, Biff got a ride in the Truck Series for Roush, won a championship in 2000, went into Xfinity the next year, and then won the championship in 2002, and then look where it went from there.
Again, when I hear people talk about, well, the Cup champion means you're great. Well, yeah, it means you were great for a season, but it's the collective, it's the long haul. And I know I sound like I'm beating the same drum over and over again, but
Yeah.
pound. Greg Biffle deserves every accolade he gets. Like you said, Truck Series champion, Xfinity champion. Maybe he never won the Cup Series championship, but doesn't make him any less of a Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
Right.
So, Selena, what else do you got for us?
Well, if you guys haven't noticed already, well, we've seen them here, but we have a driver returning to full-time in Xfinity.
Wow.
Good
Good
scheme.
job.
I dig it.
So, returning to full-time in Xfinity. So that's gonna be interesting. But just a little preview of tonight's segment. Tonight, I'm gonna split it up into 3 different parts. Okay. So we're gonna start.
Right.
Since he's coming out the end of the show, we're gonna split up 3 different parts. I'm gonna start it off now with the video. Then I'm gonna do a quick. Then I'm gonna do, and then later on in the show, we'll do like another video. And at the very end of the show is when he'll come in. We'll introduce him and go from there.
All right.
My first ship I was on was a minesweeper out of San Diego, California for 2 years. And then the second deployment was on the USS Comstock for about 2 years again. When you go away on deployment, you never know what's going to happen. We might not be at war, particularly with any country or anything like that, but we go on deployment and one training accident happens and someone could lose their life or get hurt. A lot of uncertainty, so that's probably one of the toughest parts, because you go away and you don't know what's going to happen, and every day is not promised. For me to be racing in this sport, and in a sport that actually honors our military, that's huge for me, and it means a lot. It means a lot to my family, it means a lot to all the fans out there who are military supporters or people in the service. NASCAR each year is just really promoting the military, honoring our troops, and just honoring those who have given that ultimate sacrifice to make sure that we're free here at home, and that fans, friends, family, anybody can turn on that TV and watch a race or go to the race and enjoy it with their family. Without the sacrifices that our military members have given to make sure that we're free, we wouldn't be able to do it, and I'm really happy for everything NASCAR is doing to honor that.
You gotta love that guy. You really gotta love that guy.
Yep. So Jesse UG was born on August 12, 1987. He's an American professional stock car driver, and he was also part of the United States Marine United States Navy Reserve. So I got salute to him. He competes full-time in the Xfinity Series, driving for, well, a very famous number, 34. We'll get back to that. Well, I got another video for that prior on later on at halfway through. But he has, for his own team, Jesse U Motorsports, he's also teamed up with Dallas Cowboys legend, NFL Hall of Famer, Emmitt Smith. He has competed in NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, the K&N Pro Series, which is now the ARCA Menards East and West Series, the ARCA Racing Series in the past. He is from Colorado, Texas. He's been active in the racing since he's been in the military since 2010. He was a football player for the Navy midshipmen. He was a free safety. His career games was from 2005 to 2009. He's been in some bowl games. He went to high school in Texas. 5 races in Xfinity Series. His best finish is 84th. Part-time driver. He's ran in truck for 15 races. So he's a sailor and a driver. So he's doing double duty this year.
Amazing, beautiful. And I don't know that I want to tell Jesse this story, but I'll tell you guys and the viewers at large. There's a young gentleman, probably about 20, 21 years old, that works at my place of business, and his name is Jesse. Now, if you know me, everybody gets a nickname. Everybody gets a nickname. So I'm learning this kid, and one day I just called him Jesse Awuji, and it stuck. So much so that in the last 7 months, it has been shortened to just Wooge. So from Jesse Iwuji, now this guy won't answer me if I call him Jesse. I'm like, hey, Wooge, and he turns around. So the nickname stuck. So, and I showed him the picture today. I said, hey, just so you know, tonight we're gonna be talking to the real Jesse Iwuji, and he looks now. This kid is about 5'7", red hair, bright white skin, and he goes, I see the resemblance. I see why you call me that. So he has fun with the joke, and seriously, on his name tag, he changed the name tag from Jesse to Wooj, Wooj, on his name tag. So Wooj,
That's pretty cool.
Wooj, if you're out there, we're talking to your namesake tonight. Hope you're watching.
Yeah.
Yep. And if guys don't, if you guys haven't noticed, if you guys are just not tuning in, last night I actually was able to get Jesse Iwuji at the very last minute. He'll be on at 8:15 as he is on a flight from California to Daytona to get ready for the Xfinity Series race on Saturday.
And how cool is that we get Jesse Iwuji this week, Christian Eckes next week. God knows what's coming up, because I've got it on good authority that Joey Ternulo right now in Daytona is shopping our show to different drivers.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of inboxed him and mentioned Haley Deegan, so we'll see what he can do.
Okay. All right.
Oh, and just for Jordan, the spank bank will be full. So now,
So apparently, we have an update from Bob Pockris. So on the Daniel Suarez car that failed twice in pre-qualifying, it says here in quote, on Suarez's car, body scan failure first time and a measurement the second time. So the car chief was ejected. Villeneuve's team doesn't have a car chief listed, so I expected a mechanic rest of the field through the first or second try.
Oh, wow.
Now, Jordan shared something interesting earlier, not in regard to that story, but I don't know why it just popped into my head. The newly rebranded World of Auto Racing podcast, one of the regular co-hosts is our friend John Vandal. Tell us the connection with John Vandal and tonight's show.
So, John Vandal will be pitting for Jesse Iwuji this Saturday for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race.
Say it with me. Iwuji.
Iwuji.
Iwuji. Like Ewok, but different.
Yeah, so he messaged me that last night. He said I will be pitting for him this weekend. So
that's pretty awesome.
And John has been in Daytona since Monday. He was at New Samara last night for the ARCA East Series. His team finished third. So congratulations to John Vandal and his team.
Good job, John. And best of luck in the upcoming season.
Yep.
And at some point, Chris, I'll get him on the Speedway review with us at some point.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. So, guys, we have 5 races to go over in the next 40-some minutes before Jesse Iwuji comes on. Why don't we start with the duels tomorrow night, 7 o'clock? As always, the qualifying races are fun, but you really don't see them get too aggressive until the last 2 laps because am I on the bubble? Am I in? Am I locked? Am I this? Am I that? It almost seems like for the past 4 or 5 years, the duels are only fun for about 6 minutes. I don't know how you guys feel, but in the past, the duels were destination viewing. I would not miss the duels for any amount of money.
Now, Chris, they've watered them down for this year.
Oh, how'd they do that?
I guess they're going to be less tamer because they don't want to risk losing cars because they don't have very many parts. That came
understandable.
That came into ESPN. So that came into ESPN. I'm going to that came into ESPN, so I'm going to look more into that. And before the end of the show, I'll discuss what that was talking about.
Okay. You were saying, Tori?
No, I was just agreeing. I was agreeing and saying I've been saying that since you guys told me about the next gen cars and everything. So remember, I also said this is going to be the most cautious year ever for the sport because they don't have any parts. So that in itself, like thinking about it now, I'm really second guessing my draft picks because think about it, yo, everyone's going to be extremely cautious. You know what I mean? So people won't will everyone really go you know what I'm saying, foot to metal? You know what I'm saying? Will everybody push the gas?
I'm in agreement with you because, as I said, midway through last season, when we were in the transition period of the Speedway review then to what it is now, and dealing with Jordan and you, Tori, and just getting to know everybody and getting the show where we want it to be, they're going to roll out the next gen car in 2022. I said too early. You have to give them time to build it, to tech it, to get everything right. They gave them a year, which I don't know how much you guys know about building a race car. I certainly don't, but it doesn't sound like a lot of time. It really, really does not. Especially when you have to build cars for an entire year. Now, these fabricators, these engine guys are going to be working overtime trying to get cars ready for 3, 4, 5 weeks from now instead of having their fleet built and ready to go and just repairing what comes into the shop. Corey, you had a lot to say about the next gen car coming out of last season. Now that we're here, we saw them on the quarter mile at the Clash at the LA Coliseum. Now we're going to see them on the high banks and super high speeds at Daytona. If you had one fear about this car in Daytona, what's it going to be?
How much of a crash these cars are going to take?
With a composite body, it's not going to be as bad as the sheet metal, but think about it this way. It's not like the old days where you can slap a quarter panel on and just do your thing and go back out on the track. This is going to be a work. And these cars aren't built to be, look, the way NASCAR's been for the last 60 years, almost piecemeal. What? We broke a quarter panel? Get that sheet metal over there. We'll quick drill it. We'll Bondo it. We'll get them back on the track.
Now, Chris, I have it right here. All right. So the duel at Daytona is scheduled for Thursday night, a qualifying event that splits yada yada. Y'all know this. Sets much stunning good. It could be watered down because of part shortage involving the next gen car. The security has left teams with a limited number of backup cars and even fewer on site. We cannot wreck this car before the 500, is what Eric Jones said. So, and Team Penske has 2 backups built for its 4-car team. So, therefore, if Blaney and Logano both crash and Cindric crashes, and Wood Brothers, Harrison Burton crashes, everybody's screwed. So, I'm gonna agree with Chris. It was way too early to bring these cars. Way too early.
I totally. Hey, you guys, you guys remember the first Transformers movie they had made?
Yeah.
You remember they redid the Camaro, right?
Yep.
Do you guys know that what's his name? Todd. What's his name? Michael Bay and all those guys had to damn near sign their asses off to Chevrolet because there was no spare. That was the only one. You know what I'm saying? And I was just thinking, I didn't even know that they had just that year to get things ready. I'm sitting here while you guys are talking, no, dude, you needed at least 5 years or more.
Yeah, it's funny how this thing works. And much like when they rolled out the god-awful, ugliest car ever, the Car of Tomorrow, back in 2007, I believe it was.
Hey, I love that car.
That was the ugliest car ever in the history of ever.
Hey, it may have been ugly, but I love the design.
It was boxy. It was that stupid wing on the back, just terrible. Oh, I hated everything about that car. Everything.
What kind of car was it?
Oh God, I'll dig up a picture. I'll send it to you later. They were, they were ugly as sin, dude. Terrible.
Wow. Okay, I'll take your word for it.
But if you guys are in the Daytona area, tickets are still available for the Blue-Green Duel at Daytona, Blue-Green Vacation Duel at Daytona. General admission tickets are $49. Reserved seating is $75. Tickets for kids 12 and under are free. So much like I did with my daughter, make your kids lie and get discounted tickets.
The oldest trick in the book.
Hey, it worked for Emma. It can work for everybody. Well, not so much me anymore. He's got that aging disease, but he's 11. So as
the Benjamin Button.
Benjamin Button, thank you. I couldn't remember. Oh, you win the day. So we can't necessarily pick a winner for the duels because we don't know who's lining up in which race. We can talk a little about qualifying tonight. Based on anything I've heard from practices, there's not really a clear-cut favorite to take the pole this weekend. Do you think it's going to be a matter of the more rubber that they get on the track and the guys that go out late, which we saw a lot of at the Clash at the Coliseum, but that's a quarter mile. This is 2.5 miles of racetrack.
Yeah, buddy.
Is it going to be, and I'll start with Jordan on this one, is it going to be a case of, say, 10, 15 years ago where the guy who goes out first through sixth gets that early advantage, or are you looking at with these next-gen cars, the more rubber that's on the track, the more they watch, the more they're going to learn, and somebody in the later rounds is going to take the pole?
Give me just 1 minute. I am trying to find something for you guys. Go ahead and come back to me.
Is it pictures of Selena? Because I loved that woman. Oh my Lord! I almost bought that. I almost bought that shirt, by the way. Corey, is it going to be an early qualifier or a late qualifier that takes the pole?
I'm going to say late qualifier.
Tori?
I totally agree. The reason why is basically what you said, though. Whoever gets, now this is so screwed. Whoever gets, I say 1 through 9, I'm sorry for you guys, because especially number 1, you haven't seen anyone or anything. It's just you. You're the one who's going to somewhat set the standard of how to run this qualifier. And then the second person has to do something better than third, fourth. By the time you get to like what you guys say about 20, 15 to 20, everybody beyond that should already like, okay, I know what to do. I know what to do on turn 2. Oh yeah, he was a little high right there. I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And it makes all the sense in the world. The more these cars are out there and the more the teams are watching and getting a little bit of information from even their own teammates or people they're in a technical alliance with, the better you're going to do. I agree with you two. It's going to be a late qualifier that takes home the gold.
Yeah.
Now, if someone 1 through 10 does take the pole, that's going to be shocking. Like straight up, I'll be shocked.
I'd be surprised too.
Now, which one of you guys has the information as to when Trucks and Xfinity are going to qualify? Because I can't seem to find it.
I would say the Trucks are going to be qualifying Friday before the race. I think that'll probably be like around like 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock.
Okay.
That's probably my guess.
All right. So moving from the duels, Friday night is, where's the name of it? The Next Era, Energy 250, the opening of the Camping World Truck Series season. I'm gonna roll down the list real quick, and then we're not going to be doing a lot of previews this year. Basically, we're going to stick to the name. We're going to review the races. We'll still have a little preview here and there, but here's your entry list: Haley Deegan, Jesse Little, Jordan Anderson, John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Hill, Blaine Perkins, Jennifer Jo Cobb, Spencer Boyd, Tanner Gray, Tyler Ankrum, Riley Herbst, Chandler Smith, Derek Kraus, Danny Bond, Austin Wayne Self, Grant Enfinger, Jack Wood. See, that's the car right there, Tori. That ugly hunk of junk.
Okay. Shit. All right, man.
That looked like a Pinto with a wing on it.
Yeah, man. That looks like that car Joe Dirt got instead of his Hemi.
Thank you. See that? Jordan's outvoted. And you're banned from the show.
What the fuck?
Oh my God. I'm going to continue down this list. Jack Wood, Matt DiBenedetto, Brian Dawzat, Tate Fogelman, Brett Holmes, Jason White, Zane Smith, Dean Thomas, Carson Hocevar, Thad Moffitt, which Corey put out not too long ago about him, Chris Wright, the guy with the dumbest name in motorsports, Lawless Allen, Corey Haim, Stuart Friesen, Timmy Hill, Chase Purdy, Ty Majeski, Parker Kligerman, Matt Crafton, Colby Howard, Jason Kitzmiller, our man Christian Eckes, Ben Rhodes, Matt Jaskell, Johnny Sauter, and Clay Greenfield. Now, that's 42 eligible drivers. I believe only 36 make the race. I'm not going to ask you who's in and who's out. I'm asking for one answer. Who's going to win Friday night at the Next Era Energy 250?
Guido, Matt DiBenedetto, or Haley Deegan?
Okay.
I'm
Corey?
going. Okay, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 25 at the Benedetto, and we've seen how he does on the super speedways. And quite honestly, I would not be surprised if he wins the Daytona Friday night. But again, I'm excited that he has a full-time ride. Let's just see how he does with the Rackley WAR racing team for 2022.
And what pisses me off is the hats and the shirts are sold out right now.
Really?
Yeah, I've been checking. Plus, Walnuts is down there looking for stuff for me anyway. So,
Yeah.
Tori, who's going to win the truck race, my man?
Don't have a stake in that, but I will tell you this: I am honestly gonna be pulling for Double J, homie.
All right. See, I want to pick Matt DiBenedetto for all the same reasons you guys are giving. And, you know, in my heart, that's who I'm going to be cheering for. But I'm looking at John Hunter Nemechek to just continue that run of awesome runs that he had last year. Didn't win the championship, but there was no better driver last year than John Hunter Nemechek.
Yep.
So I'm kind of torn. And if I have to flip a coin, I'm still going with Matty D.
Of course.
Because that's the way it is. Now, let me find information on this weekend's Xfinity Series race.
The racing.
Why
game.
You are laughing?
Funny.
Oh yeah, it's just as bad as last year. Give me a second. You want to tell him, Corey?
All right. Unless you want to tell him. I mean, either way, but all right. I'm gonna go with this. I'm excited to say this. All right. So Saturday, 5:00 Eastern time on FS1, and you could stream it live on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Damn it!
Sorry. You can catch the beef. It's what's for dinner.
And after last year, we renamed it Biff, Your Night is Over, because everybody crashed out of that race.
Yeah.
It was so ridiculous. So we have 47 eligible drivers for, I believe it's a 36-car field. I can run through the list if you guys want, and then we'll pick a winner. Starting with Sam Mayer, Brett Moffitt, Sheldon Apollo Creed, Bailey Curry, Matt Mills, Ryan Vargas, Joe Graff Jr., Justin Allgaier, David Starr, Josh Berry, Noah Gregson, Landon Castle, Daniel Hemrick, AJ Allmendinger, Drew Dollar, Brandon Effin Jones, my man, Austin Hill, Anthony the Chicken Man Alfredo, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Ryan Truex, Jeb Burton, that's with a B, Kyle Sieg, Myatt Snyder, Natalie Decker, Jesse Awuji, Shane Lee, Josh Balicki. Now there's a TBA in the 38 car. They haven't announced who it's going to be yet. Ryan Sieg, Tommy Joe Martins, Cesar Baccarella. Another TBA.
I'm Facebook friends with him.
Are you really?
Yes, sir.
Please don't tell him I make fun of his name. There's another TBA in the 47. Jade Buford, Jeremy Clemens, Harrison Rhodes, Joey Gase, Ty Gibbs, JJ Yeley, Brandon Brown. Let's go, Brandon. Tim Vaines, Ronnie Bassett Jr., Josh Williams, Alex LeBay, Mason Massey, Kyle Weatherman, Riley Herbst, and Stephen Parsons. Again, not everybody's going to make the dance, but that's not what we're here for. I want to know, and we'll go in reverse order this time. Tori, NASCAR Xfinity Series beef. It's what's for dinner.
All right. I won't say who's going to win. I'll just give you two people, Allmendinger and Ty Gibbs.
All right, good choices. Corey.
All right, so this one I had a little bit of a hard time picking a winner, but I'm going to go with the guy that just won the championship last year. I'm going to go with Daniel Hemrick.
Not a bad pick. Jordan.
Ooh.
Josh Berry.
Okay. Yeah, you know, the more I looked at this, and I didn't even do any research. I didn't go back to last year. I didn't play with it. I'm just sticking to my guns. If Sheldon Creed doesn't win, it better be Brandon Effin Jones, who had a really good run at Daytona not too long ago and got caught up in a really, really bad wreck. So I'm going with Brandon effing Jones. All right, so we really do not need to go through the entry list for the Daytona 500, but for the sake of argument, I will. Now, Jordan, you may not be familiar with this. Tori, you may not be familiar with this, but Corey, do the job that you are the best at.
All right. So Sunday you can catch the Daytona 500. The race will be 2:30 Eastern time on Fox, and you can stream it live on the Motor Racing Network.
The voice of NASCAR.
There you go.
Now, little does anyone know that I love saying that, but I love saying that.
Yeah.
So we're going to get the entry list downloaded here. Here it comes. Want to hear it? Here it goes. Where'd that come from, Tori?
In living color, Calhoun Tubbs.
My man just won the internet for the day. Good job. Your entry list is as follows: Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, Austin Dillon, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Corey LaJoie, Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott, Eric Almirola, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe, David Reagan, Daniel Hemrick, Chris Buescher, Kyle Effin Busch, Martin Truex, Christopher Bell, Harrison Burton, who can go to hell, Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Jacques Villeneuve, Justin Haley, Michael McDowell, Todd Gilliland, Cole Custer, Ty Dillon, Eric Jones, The Biff, Greg Biffle, Kurt Busch, Recky Spinhouse Jr., Alex Bowman, Kaz Gralla, Cody Ware, J.J. Yaley, Noah Gragson, Timmy Hill, Landon Castle, nobody's favorite, B.J. McLeod, and Daniel Suarez. 42 men enter, but only 40 make the show.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Daytona, Talladega, and Bristol are the biggest gambles because you can lead 140 laps and blow a tire, hit the wall, and your day is over, or you can lead 2 laps and leave with the Harley J. Earl Trophy. You can have the best car all day, and with a late race pass, someone's gonna take your glory away. Mark Martin has been the bridesmaid more times than I can count, and has dominated the race. And unfortunately, 3 times that I can remember, was passed on the last lap and loses the race. How many times have we seen, or maybe not some of you younger guys, from 1987 till he finally won it in 98, there's Dale Earnhardt just dominating the race. He hits a piece of sheet metal, he crashes, he does this, he does that, and somebody else passes him for the win. Derek Cope comes to mind.
Yeah.
You know? So
I'm doing well.
with a gun to our heads and the biggest crapshoot on the circuit, Corey, who wins the Daytona 500 this weekend?
All right. I've said this long before, and I've said this for the last couple weeks. I'm going to go with the 6 of Brad Keselowski.
Wow. Give me a reason why.
So we've seen how he's done on the super speedways within the last couple of years. He's won 6 or 7 times at Talladega. He's won the summer race of Daytona once. Never has he won the 500. And then, of course, last year we saw what happened when he tried to make the move on the last lap. And, of course, we get the big wreck on the last lap and whatever and so forth. But now, of course, this year he's going to be running with Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. And, of course, Keselowski being the co-owner. So we've seen how he's done on the super speedways. And honestly, if he can just stay up front, or if he can just draft whoever he can draft with most of the race, I think he's in good shape. But I'm also going to just say this: if he can win the Daytona 500 and dedicate it to his dad, Bob Keselowski, who of course passed away, I think last month or back in December, I think that would be really special. And quite honestly, I know that Roush Fenway Keselowski has won the Daytona 500, I believe, twice. So this would be their 3rd Daytona 500 win if Keselowski wins on Sunday. But again, I'm just picking a winner because, let's be honest. When it comes to super speedway racing, it's hard to pick a winner. I mean, I basically just picked the field, but I don't know. I would just probably say now, I would just probably pick whoever's best, in the draft and so forth.
Understood.
And so I want to give you.
But yeah, that's the reason why I'm going for Keselowski.
Makes sense. Jordan, while you're tending to your beautiful child, who wins the Daytona 500?
Well, I think, let's see. It's been done before. I I think Harrison Burton can take that 21 back to victory lane in the Daytona 500.
Oh boy.
For the second time in one show, you're banned from the show.
Well,
No,
just
it's gonna.
this,
No, I would say it's probably gonna be somebody who's never won before, somebody who hasn't won in a while. I mean, it's a tough call to say who wins Daytona. I mean, it's Daytona. Not everybody's gonna be finishing at the end. I mean, look at the example for last year. I thought Joe Logano was gonna win it. Here comes Michael McDowell. Everybody crashes behind him, so it's pretty much anybody's show. So I'm gonna say whoever's leading the last lap is gonna win the race.
Wow, Booger McFarland, that was fantastic. Whoever leads the last lap at Daytona generally wins the race. Back to you, Joe.
Can I just say this real quick? So if Harrison Burton wins the Daytona 500, that would be the 100 win for the Wood brothers. 100.
He doesn't deserve it. The Wood brothers deserve it. Harrison Burton deserves to work at Arby's. I am still angry, and I have a right to be.
Yeah.
Note to self,
right,
note to self, don't get Harrison Burton on the Speedway review.
Oh boy.
You could, but I'm gonna wear all my Matty D gear.
Oh boy,
I'm gonna put the flag behind me. He'll be like, "Hey, man, nice 21 banner." That's for the real driver. Next.
Oh boy.
Freak.
No, my real pick is Kurt Busch. I say he goes I say he wins his second Daytona 500.
Okay.
Nice. I want to be a homer. I want to pick Kevin Harvick, but Corey knows that my three favorite words are momentum, momentum, momentum. Two guys have momentum right now. You have the reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champion of NASCAR and Kyle Larson, and you have the guy that won last week and had an opportunity, like you mentioned, to win last year. Gun to my head, I'm going with Joey Logano.
Okay. That's
all right. And now Tori's up, and he's giving me the Kane side head.
What were we just doing? Predictions.
Picking the winner for the Daytona 500.
All right. I said something yesterday on the world of motorsport. I think because I was asked a very unusual question: who's in and who's out, and I'm not going against any of my picks because I'm good. But honestly, because of like we were talking about, how I think everyone's going to be a cautious driver. I think someone like Joey Logano might not even make the cut, bro.
Okay.
Like, because you just don't know what happens. But if I had to pick a winner, I'm trying to remember who I said. I think I said Kevin Harvick, but for some reason, I think I said someone else. I can't remember. But I'm not going against the champ, man. I'm crazy. Kyle Larson, baby.
Okay. And there you have it. We are still about a half hour away from Senor Jesse Owuji joining us. Does anybody have any questions that they want to bring to the table and have everybody talk about?
Oh, shit. Seriously, though. Like, do you guys really think, because like we all agree with there being no spare parts, do you think every driver in every team knowing that, do you think that is going to affect how their drivers drive?
To an extent, yes. If you're a lower end team, if you're Rick Ware Racing, if you're Front Row Motorsports, yeah, you're going to worry about that stuff. But if you're Hendrick or Gibbs or Stuart Haas, if you're one of the high end teams, I'll even throw Roush Fenway into the mix. They're not as worried as the other teams.
Okay.
And I'll just go down the list real quick, and I'll say that if I were someone like Kaz Grala, who is running a one-off for TMT Racing, yeah, I'd be worried as hell. I'd be driving like I'm sitting on an egg, and if I do something wrong, it's going to crack under my ass. I would be so careful with that car that it may cost him, precious spots on the racetrack. Having said that, again, and I think it was Jordan that pointed out, even the Penske guys are worried that, we only brought X amount of cars, but these are, when you look at the Penske lineup, if you'll give me a second, you have Austin Cindric, rookie year for Penske Motorsports. You got Ryan Blaney. You got Joey Logano. These are guys that let's be clear, they're badasses. Joey's a former champion on the circuit. They can figure out how far they can push the car without getting it too squirrely or making some kamikaze move that's gonna, put their ass end into the wall. If I'm Penske, I'm not worried. If I'm, I don't know. Again, we'll go down to Noah Gragson, who's doing a one-off for Beard Motorsports.
Yeah.
I'm worried as hell. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
My question to you guys is and Corey, you might know more about this than I do, so I'll lead off with you. I'll start with this. Is the car, the next gen car, any different aerodynamically than the cars they ran last year?
Technically, I would probably say it'll be a lot different than last year, but then yet again, I just want to see how they do racing wise this season. So again, it's a lot of unknowns and a lot of questions how this car is going to race on that track this year, but we'll see how it all plays out.
And you kind of answered the question that I was going to ask is if the cars are different aerodynamically, how will it affect the racing? But again, we haven't seen much of it. When the car of tomorrow, that ugly Pinto with a wing, was rolled out, they tested and tested and tested. And for a year and a half, they brought these cars to every track they could to get track time and learn how the car worked. So you kind of knew going in what you were going to get. We have no idea. The only race we've seen was on a track the size of a nickel, and it seemed to run fine.
Yeah.
They're not as heavy from what I understand. So
okay, that's a damn good point right there. 72 cent. That is a damn good thing. Like, dude, we all know science and we know in inertia what happens with that. Yo, can those cars the Daytona 500 is usually what, like a 3-hour race or something? Help me out.
Give or take.
Give or take, right? How these cars gonna deal with it? And once again, you guys said we're talking about 2.5 fucking miles of pushing it, like damn near 200 miles an hour plus. How the engines gonna deal with that? How the body of the car is gonna deal with that? Because we know the forces. Go ahead, bro.
No. I'm finish your point because I'm gonna blow your mind.
I was just saying we all know what the other cars look like and how the engines were beyond beat the fuck up. This is, like you said, this is something new. They should have waited, and we're gonna find out this week.
Yep. And if the car is lighter, here it comes. We've seen some horrendous crashes at Daytona over the years.
Yep.
Ryan Newman, Rusty Wallace, Dale Earnhardt's crash that killed him. Unfortunately, it wasn't that bad, but it was bad enough to kill him. But we've seen Tony Stewart go ass over tea kettle at Daytona. That's with a heavy car. If you have a lighter car and that thing gets one tire off the ground, I am so amazingly scared to see what's going to happen with a lighter composite body. Yep. If it gets any lift and it goes airborne, that is going to be a scary situation.
Mm-hmm. And Daytona does have a nice breeze that hits the track now.
I love that breeze. Comes in off the backstretch. Gets you right on the back if you're sitting down on that backstretch. Ooh, it's beautiful.
Damn.
All right. So,
did they really take that in consideration, though?
Yeah, that's a great question, and maybe we can ask that question because Jesse Iwuji is running a composite body. That's what the Xfinity Series has been using for a couple of years. So that's maybe a question for him or even John Vandal. As we go forward, those are questions we absolutely should ask, 1,000%.
All right, so I have the qualifying order for tonight.
Okay.
So the qualifying order is as it is. Daniel Hemrick, Landon Castle, Eric Jones, Corey LaJoie, Kurt Busch, Bubba Wallace, Chase Briscoe, Ty Dillon, Cole Custer, David Reagan, what the shit?
Yeah, he's running. He's running the 15 car.
Todd Gilliland, BJ McLeod, Brad Keselowski, Greg Biffle, the Biff. Somebody go find Marty McFly. Cody Ware, Jock Villeneuve, Kaz Gralla, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., as I say, the man that wrecked Danica's career. Justin Haley, JJ.
I think it's the other way around.
Either way. Timmy Hill, Noah Gragson, Kyle freaking Busch, Ryan Blaney, Chris Buescher, Harrison Burton, Denny Hamlin, the Mellon Man, Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano, Austin Dillon, Daniel Suarez, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Michael McDowell, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Erica Marola, William Byron Jr., Kyle Larson, and rounding out 42nd, Austin Cindric.
I have to bring up, because nobody brought him up talking about who we think is going to win the Daytona 500. Who seems to always be up front at Daytona and Talladega other than Recky Spinhouse Jr.? I got 2 words for you. Duh, Bub.
Yeah.
Bubba Wallace is a guy who I think, and he's not my pick, but definitely keep your eyes on him this weekend. I really do believe that Bubba Wallace may be a deciding factor in this race.
Yeah, if it rains. I'm joking.
Well, I mean, I can definitely see that because, look what happened last year when Bubba won Talladega. I mean, that was pretty much a fresh start for 23-11. And then, of course, now you have a 2-car team and you're bringing a former champion and, of course, a guy who won the 500 a couple of years ago. So, yeah, I mean, I'm actually going to watch that team and see how they do this weekend.
Bring it to me.
I would not be surprised if
Bring it to me, Grace.
Come on, Grace. Do it.
Come on, go.
Here, you want the candy? Here.
Oh, you got candy? Don't get in the van. Don't do it.
What kind of candy is it?
Does it matter? Get in the van.
No, it doesn't matter.
Hey,
It reminds me of Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm gonna take you out to the kitchen. I'm gonna make some dishes real quick.
All right, keep your ears
Okay.
on. If
So,
people are
as you know,
gonna laugh
Jesse-
at you.
as you know, Jesse, it would. How you say it?
Jesse
I have-
Iwuji.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Milk Duds, what are you doing? Hopefully Kevin Harvick wins the poll. Thank you, Justin. You are the man. I got to tell you, because Valentine's Day was Monday, and if you're dumb enough to celebrate that holiday, you got what you paid for. I want to share with you my favorite Valentine's Day poem. It goes like this. Roses are red, violets are blue, I've got a gun, get in the van.
All right, so here is video number 2.
All right, let's do that video before people hate us.
Emmett and Jesse look to bring honor again to the number 34, as Wendell Scott once did during the difficult time period for the U.S. that he lived in. Let's welcome the NASCAR Xfinity Series new number 34 and the inspirational journey that has begun. Patience and faith will be key in this journey, as life truly rewards those who stay strong enough, long enough.
Absolutely beautiful.
Look at that beautiful car. That is gorgeous. And look, people said it when Michael Jordan got involved with the sport last year, and Michael started by making the dumbest statement ever. I don't write checks for losers. And I think people picked on that statement for months and months and months. But eventually, Bubba gets victory lane. He gets his Talladega hand raised in victory. Emmett Smith, like Michael Jordan, isn't going to put his money into something that he doesn't have full confidence.
You mean Jerry's money? I'm joking.
Well, he made it from Jerry, but he earned it. I met Jesse last year. He's an awesome driver. Justin. Too many dynamite drop-ins, my friend.
Yeah.
Too many. But I like your style. No, but Emmett Smith's not going to put his money into someone or something that's not going to A, make him money in return, or
Exactly.
B, isn't going to be something he has full confidence in. He's
But
one of the
question
smarter.
is-
Go ahead.
Never mind. I'll have to find the answer for myself.
All right, you find the answer and give it to us. I'm just saying, Emmett Smith, Michael Jordan, they put their money that they made on the field or on the court or wherever into projects that will take care of them and their loved ones for years beyond any of our lives are ever going to see. They're not spending their money on hookers and cocaine. They're just, they're investing in something that can make them money. Oh, Jesus, Tori, really? Oh, my God. Let's hear it. Go ahead. Come on, Tori. I want to hear what you got to say.
That was nothing, man. Hookers and cocaine.
How many athletes blow their money on hookers and cocaine and end up on 30 for 30? Seriously. Or if you're Jeremy Mayfield, you blow it on meth and copper.
I'm done. Let me make this food.
You go right ahead. But yeah, the partnership when I first heard about it was fantastic. I thought for 3 minutes until qualifying, Jamie Little is interviewing the Biff.
I got it on my TV right now.
Oh man, G Biff in the house. I can't wait to get upstairs.
So I have a trivia question for you. Not counting last year's Daytona 500, but when was the last time the 34 was in victory lane in either of the series?
Oh wow! Oh, I gotta think about that. My hands are up.
Come on, Stat Boy.
Yeah, come on, Stat Boy.
I want to say it was Wendell Scott, 1963, Jacksonville, Florida.
Bubba Wallace in the Truck Series, 34.
Oh,
Martinsville.
I almost forgot about that. Oh,
all right.
Forgot about that.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner, and that's not racist because I like chicken. I have
like
to be careful. See, it all makes sense.
I love NASCAR.
It make me happy. By the way, I have to tell you, Corey, and the rest of the team. Yeah. Originally, we were supposed to watch Daytona 500 with our good friend Mark and Skip. Unfortunately, COVID has reared its ugly head, and I won't get into specifics, but we'll be not watching the Daytona 500 with Skip and Mark. It sucks. We're going to Zoom during the race. Obviously, I'm going to do the drop-ins on the page live. If either of you guys are available, join the video. Have a good time. But, yeah. Kind of a curveball. Kind of sucks, but to those of you who were supposed to join us this weekend who have COVID, I tip my hat and I say speedy recovery. We'll see you soon. So terrible. It's almost as bad as the time I drove 2 hours to Peabody, Massachusetts to watch racing, and we ended up watching the XFL.
Yeah.
But I made a whole bunch of cool new friends that day. And God rest her, your grandma's the best. Your grandma, the best.
He was amazing.
Oh, she was so funny. Just some of the things she asked me was just hilarious.
Oh my God.
She reminded me a lot of my own grandmother.
Yeah. Oh my God, she was a saint, man. And yeah, a lot of memories.
All right, so.
Hey, we're on this Bubba Talk still.
No, we're off the Bubba Talk, man. Pay attention.
No, we ain't.
She see money all around me. I look like I'm the man. Yeah, but I was counting out like last week. Tell me, where have you been? Yeah, came out of hiding, girl.
I dreamed you amid the flowers for a couple of hours. Such a beautiful day.
It's a smile from behind my giant robot's eyes. I keep him happy cause I might fall out if he cries. Scared of heights so I might pass out if he flies. Keep him on autopilot cause I can't drive. Room enough for one, I tell my homies they can't ride unless.
They call them photo finishes because you need to see them to believe them.
By a matter of inches.
And the Daytona 500 has had quite a few.
That was crazy.
But it's also had photo starts and photo drama. And definitely some photo-worthy cars. Lights, camera, start your engines. It's the biggest race of the year.
The Daytona 500.
I am the Daytona 500. I am NASCAR.
Staying and losing as much weight as you can to improve your heart function. Okay.
I'm sorry, I still got the music going through my head. Well, my name's Darryl Wallace. I'm the fastest brother. All my friends, they call me Bubba. Sorry, not very good at that. Whoa! How come we had two Jordans?
Because I'm doing something.
Oh, well, you do something. All right, with about 12 minutes left until we are joined by Jesse Iwuji, one final question. And it goes back to last year's... Oh, my God, you got it right. Going back to last year's Daytona 500, where the two guys battling out, crash out, we get this unexpected winner. You could go back to Trevor Bayne, Derek Cope, guys of that like who have snuck their way into the lead and got their name on the Harley JL Trophy. Is there one driver who I call them underfunded? I don't want to call them lower teams. You're that good. You're on the Cup Series. You're that good. If you had to pick one guy who is from an underfunded team that could win this race, who would it be?
Cody Ware.
Where?
Over there.
Where?
Over there.
All right.
In the
Corey,
rear.
who could be? Knock it off.
All right. I'm gonna go with the 7 of Corey LaJoie.
Okay. I'm gonna go a slightly different route, and I don't know why this name just keeps popping its face out at me. And I know he's still hunting for his first win on the series. He's running for a middle-of-the-road team, but I'm going to keep my eyes on the watermelon man, Ross Chastain.
Hey, he can do it. I mean, he's in that number one car. Number one for Trackhouse.
Yep.
Who's also with that number has also won the Daytona 500 before, Jamie McMurray.
Yep.
Great. And the frog wouldn't bump its ass if it had wings. I don't.
So, that's funny.
Go ahead.
That's funny. I forgot what the hell I was saying anyway.
No, that happens. And you're not old like me, so I can certainly understand. Early onset dementia is for anybody. You know who else? Let's throw this name out there. Jacques Villeneuve, who is no stranger to super speedway racing.
Yep.
Much like back in the day when you went to a road course, the first name that popped in your head was Boris Said.
Speaking of Boris Said, he will be on the next episode of Dale Jr. Download.
It came out today. I haven't listened to it yet. I was too busy listening to Dysfunction Junction, which is a show you guys should all be listening to.
I have.
All right, good job. This week on Dysfunction Junction, because I pimped this show on Dysfunction Junction, and I forgot this week, but I will on Monday, pimping Christian Eckes. This coming Monday when we record, it'll drop next Wednesday while you're probably watching this. We are going to be visiting Two Brothers Extreme Paranormal. I'm a Bubba fan now? No, not at all.
Oh, God.
Not at all. Although, I will say this. I like Bubba Wallace. I don't like everybody thinking he's God's gift to racing. And I'm too far away from the hat and my back hurts, so I'm not going to run over and get the hat and talk about the Cletuses that root for Chase Elliott. Go ahead, sir.
So this is, as you know, this is the Daytona preview, what we got going. Okay, so in case you haven't know, we have a Grand Marshal for the Daytona 500. He is
Bob Backlund.
He is a Super Bowl champion for Super Bowl 45, 2009 Defensive NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year in 1998, four-time First-Team All-Pro 1999. Oh, screw it. It's Charles Woodson.
Wow. Very nice.
Nice.
I hate the guy.
Very nice. Why? What is wrong with you?
I'm surprised that you Ohio boys cheering for Michigan Wolverine.
Okay, stop. Sometimes you have to
roll
or collaborate and listen. All I'm saying is sometimes you have to look past where they went to college and look at their pro career. I can point to Tom Brady. I can point to Tom Brady. I can point to my favorite in particular, Shimung Biaka-Batuka.
Who?
Oh, look it up, my man. Tim Biaka-Batuka was a beast back in the day. Oh, look, it's Jeff Gordon. I don't know what he has to do with talking about Charles Woodson, but no, sometimes you got to look past where they go to college and just like them for who they are. I'm sure there are Rams fans everywhere who are Michigan fans who had to look past the point of James Laurinaitis being the most dominant defensive player ever to come out of Ohio State, and now they have to root for him on a week-to-week basis. By the way, James, don't forget, I want you on Dysfunction Junction. Somewhere you're probably watching. And I miss your dad. So,
and we also have so our national anthem will be sung by none other than
Ooh.
He's still alive? No, I'm not saying that to be stupid. I thought he passed away. I guess not. Wow, I learned something new today.
And then here's Kyle Larson's home and away helmets.
What do you mean home and away helmets? This is stupid.
Blue is home, white is away.
I can't say the word because I may offend somebody, but it rhymes with away.
Go away?
Kind of.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You're welcome. Think of Jeff Gordon. That's it. I'm banned from the show.
Asshole.
You're welcome.
Just for that?
Hey,
okay.
Jeff Gordon. Hey, man, it's Jeff Gordon, man.
Look, it's a fruit in a suit.
But honestly, honestly, that is a nice picture, though. I mean, he's standing by his legendary number, you know?
Yeah, that is a good photo.
One of the,
I like that.
I mean, he's one of the presidents of Hendrick Motorsports.
Yeah.
Do you think that when Hendrick retires, do you think Jeff Gordon will change it from Hendrick Motorsports to Jeff Gordon Motorsports?
Absolutely not. I think he has too much respect for Mr. Hendrick. There's no way he would incorporate his own name into it. Hendrick is the guy that gave him the platform. Hendrick is the guy that gave him the job. And it'll always be Hendrick Motorsports. I think, again, and I may be speaking out of class on this one, but I think if you ask Jeff Gordon that same question, his answer would be exactly the same. Absolutely not.
So I'm working hard to keep heading in a positive direction.
I'm keeping on positive direction myself.
And my exercises every day.
Corey, answer the question.
So
Does Jeff Gordon change the name?
To work on healthier ways I can cope in life.
Chris, wait, whoa! Bring back the BJ McLeod thing. I say BJ McLeod could win the 500. Oh, Justin. Oh, Justin.
1,000 to 1 or something?
Oh, Justin. You know what, Corey? Go ahead. You tell him.
Yeah, he's basically betting 1,000 to 1 on the pick.
And you're banned from the show.
Oh, come on, man.
You are canceled.
Oh, okay.
BJ McLeod is nobody's favorite. BJ McLeod's mom wears a shirt from a different team. That's how bad BJ McLeod is.
So I'm growing.
BJ McLeod buys Harrison Burton gear.
And my life is already so much
Yes, he is going to keep the name of Hendrick Motorsports. There's no way.
It was just a thought, you know.
No, and a good thought at that, because I think we all see where this is going. Rick Hendrick has children of his own. They are working within the company, but Jeff Gordon has not only a racing mind, but he has a business mind. And this is the guy. If I had a race team and Jeff Gordon raced for me and then retired and went, absolutely. Here you go, Jeff. Upon my death, this is yours.
So I have some college football news.
Oh, boy.
Hurry up, Jesse Iwuji's coming.
Mr. Nose Picker Harbaugh has signed a 5-year extension with that team up north. And guess what? He's about to lose the next 5 games.
I think he's riding high on the one victory that means the most to either Michigan or Ohio State fans.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I've had to take it. I'm sure you've had to take it from Michigan fans for the last several months.
Yep.
But I always respond with the same thing. Congratulations, you did win that game. And the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and again.
Yeah.
You know, I can pick up 10 hookers and find one wife. Doesn't mean I did something. You know what I mean? Congratulations, though, to the Michigan Wolverines this past November. As much as it pains me to say, I had to put on the jersey as part of the bet. But you know what? One time in 11 years, and it wasn't us who canceled the game the year before. It was you, weenie wusses. COVID my ass. You were afraid.
And also, William Byron won New Samara on Monday for the Clyde Hart Memorial 100.
Nice. There's too much to like about William Byron. I don't know why people. I get why
And
people. Go ahead.
This year he's going by William Byron Jr.
Yeah, I noticed that. Kind of a nice tip of the hat to his old man. Who, guys, if you didn't know, his dad's name is William Byron.
I did not know that.
Well, it's not like Rey Mysterio Jr. It's different.
Or better yet, what if there was a Bob Backlund Jr.?
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Before Jesse comes on, funny story. I went to a Raw. Oh God, many years ago, and Bryan Danielson was one of the opening matches, and he came out in the blue trunks and the blue knee pads and the blue boots, and we didn't hear his name get announced, and we called him Bob Backlund Jr. that entire night.
Yeah.
And when I went to Ring of Honor a couple years later to do some interviews for WrestlingOnline.com, there was Daniel Bryan. I'm like, dude, you're Bob Backlund Jr. And he just kind of, what? I'm like, okay, I got to tell you this. I have to tell you this story. And he got a kick out of it. He goes, well, at least you didn't call me like, Mario Mancini Jr. or Barry Horowitz Jr., but I like Barry. Barry's a friend. Yeah. I can't say anything bad about Barry.
No.
So, here is this. We could see Hendrick Motorsports in Indianapolis 500, and this is what was said. If he went to drive in the Indy 500, we'd want to make sure we're supporting it, embracing it, and excited about it because we think both can be done. Jeff Gordon and Kyle Larson potentially running the Indianapolis 500 this year in an HMS IndyCar.
Okay.
That would be interesting.
I could possibly see that maybe. I mean,
Johnson versus Larson.
Yeah, and of course, Jimmy Johnson's going to be running the full-time IndyCar series this year, and I'm actually excited the fact that he's
all right, Jesse is here.
All righty.
All right, Jesse, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, how's it going? You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you perfectly
Absolutely,
fine.
sir.
Loud and clear.
All right, cool, awesome, thank you. I'm in the airport right now, so sorry about any loud sounds in the back.
No worries at all, Jesse. I'm Chris, and real quick question for you. We were talking about it earlier. Your partnership with Emmett Smith. I look at guys like Emmett Smith and Michael Jordan who use their money that they made in their respective sports wisely. I don't think Emmett Smith gets into something he doesn't fully believe in or thinks that could up his reputation, up your reputation, or make him more money. How did this partnership start?
Yeah, the whole thing started, it really wasn't like a money thing. It was more of really trying to figure out a way to build something that was going to create a opportunity generating system for other people, right? At the end of the day, going racing and competing, that's fun, and that's a fun part we get to have, but none of it really means anything if you're not doing anything to really create opportunity and create a lasting change and a legacy that you can leave behind, right? So that was kind of the intent of us joining forces together to make this happen, and he felt like this was going to be a great platform to do it. He's already done a lot of great things in the NFL on the football side. He's obviously a great business person too with a bunch of different companies he owns, and he's really big on the real estate stuff right now. And he's been building all that stuff, but this is just another chance to jump into a different world he's never been into and utilize it as a platform to create some big changes and really create opportunities for people who would have never thought they'd have opportunity in the sport.
And I love that you said that. And maybe my question came out wrong, but he has to have confidence in you to get into that car and do what we all think. I loved watching you last season. Are you full time this year?
Yeah. So we're full time. Yep. And
okay.
He definitely has the confidence in me and the team and the people we put together. I mean, we're a new team, so we have a lot of learning to do, especially to start this season. And our goal is throughout the season is to continue to learn, continue to progress, get better and better and better, and really start putting together some great finishes as the year goes on. And who knows, maybe we'll find ourselves into the top 10 a few times and maybe top 5s, and who knows what can happen from there. But the goal is to really just progress and learn every single day and just be better and better each week.
That's fantastic. Do you have a technical alliance with anybody? Because I would love to see you in victory lane.
Yeah, so right now we have a partnership with Chevrolet, and that was a huge deal for us because the amount of information, data, and support that they are able to give will really help give us the opportunity to even have the ability to do well. At the end of the day, you can be the best driver in the world, but if you don't have a decent motor, decent car, decent people working on your stuff, it's just not going to go anywhere. So, partnering up with Chevrolet was a really big deal for us. We're looking forward to growing that partnership, not only on the track but off the track as well, with all the different things we're going to do with them, especially just on the diversity initiatives and a bunch of other stuff. So, looking forward to growing that partnership.
That is awesome. First of all, before anybody else says it, I'll say it first. Sir, thank you for your service. I see you are still active in the United States Navy, Lieutenant Commander Jesse Iwuji. Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's been great serving. Been in for this is my 12th year now, so yeah, it's interesting. I got to look back. I'm like, wow, it's been 12 years already. I got 8 more to go before I can actually, retire after 20. So I'm looking forward to that day eventually. But right now, doing my part to continue to make sure we have the freedoms that we have.
Excellent. And I know the other guys are dying to ask you a question, so I'll save my question for last. Jordan, Corey, what do you got for Jesse Iwuji?
All right.
Don't everybody speak at once. You guys are killing me tonight.
All right. So, Jesse, I was looking at your stats right here. So you made 4 starts in the Xfinity Series in 2020, and then last year you only made 1 start, which was I want to say it was Pocono last year. So, and I was also looking at, that of course you're going to be starting up this new team this year, and actually I saw the car too, and it was really awesome. So this is kind of a little bit of a silly question, but what's one track that you're pretty much looking forward to this year, and what track do you think this team can pretty much run good on?
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to all of them because I'm going to be learning a lot on all of them. There's some tracks I've been to before in the past, whether it was NASCAR Truck Series or Xfinity Series, but there's a lot of tracks that I haven't been to. So definitely looking forward to going back to the ones I've been to before because at least
Right.
I have some experience there and I can build off of that. But all the other places, I'm gonna be it's gonna be a learning curve. I mean, when we go to places like Dover and Darlington and Bristol and some of those places where it can be a little tough, it's just gonna be a lot of learning. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a challenge, but I'm always up for the challenge. And my goal, once again, is every time I go back somewhere, is just to do what I can to fix any mistakes and be better and better and better.
Yeah, and also I saw you did some TV work for NBC as the pit reporter, and I must say you did a really good job, and I was really impressed. And also I also want to say, before anybody else has any questions, I also want to say too, thank you for your service and thank you for what you do for our country.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Thank you. Yeah, and the pit reporting stuff we did with NBC was really fun. Good time. Now I guess they've transitioned over to USA Network or something like that. So, but it was fun. It was fun while I got to do it, and it was a cool opportunity. I learned a bunch from it, and it definitely opened up some doors.
Well, thank you.
So,
and I also
go ahead.
and I wish you the best of luck this year, and hopefully that team does really well this year. And on that note, does anybody else have any questions for Jesse?
Yeah, so Jesse, so how challenging is it going to be for you to do both your military work and run the full season for the Xfinity Series?
You just took my question. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge for sure to manage the time to do it, to make it happen. It's not easy at all. I just you just got to be ready to basically have 15, 16, 17, 18-hour days on the regular just to manage everything you got to do and all your responsibilities. So it's just something I've gotten used to really since the Naval Academy, and it's just kind of part of my DNA now.
Awesome. That is really good. And by the way, Jordan, you're banned from the show. You stole my question. Jesse, of the competitors you are going to be seeing and fraternizing with every single week and that you have had contact with over the years, who is someone that has taught you the most in motorsports as you've come along?
I've learned a lot from a lot of different people. Josh Rayum has been super helpful in helping me out, even just helping get this team going and all that stuff. Dale Earnhardt Jr., he's been really awesome and supportive. Him and his sister, Kelly, who runs Junior Motorsports, all of them, everybody, there's been a lot of people who've been super helpful. Even, Johnny Davis Motorsports have been super helpful getting this thing going. It's been cool to see the support we've been able to get. And just looking forward to really kind of piecing all that stuff together and making the most of it.
That is awesome. If the fans don't know already, where can they find Jesse Iwuji on the internet and possibly buy some gear?
Yeah. We have a website. Actually, I have two of them. But you can look up my name. If you look up my name, if you type it in on Google, just jesseiwuji.com, you'll pull it up, or you can type in jesseiwujimotorsports.com, and then you'll pull up the other one. And we got gear on both of them, team gear on the motorsports one, and me gear on the other one. So anyone can pull it up, and they can just also look up my name on social media. I'm on all the platforms. You can give me a follow everything we're doing, support the journey, and all that stuff is really helpful.
I'm actually looking at the site right now on my laptop, and I love the design. I love the gear. It's basic. It's to the point, and I will certainly be shopping there very soon.
Thank you for the support.
Very much liking the hat. Going to buy me a hat and a shirt. I'm all about the hat and the shirt.
Yeah.
And someday, if I ever get the chance to meet you, love for you to have you sign the stuff.
I will most definitely do that for you.
Beautiful. I know you're got only a limited time with us. You're at the airport. You're going to Daytona. You're going to be Saturday in the beef. It's what's for dinner, whatever, how many laps it is. Corey, do your thing.
All right. So the funny way of naming the race is pretty much you got to go like this. You got to say beef. It's what's for dinner.
That's funny.
So you're going to be out there. You're going to be pounding it out.
You just keep quiet for 5 seconds, and then you got to say it's what's for dinner. So
like the television commercial. I understand.
Yeah.
I in my mind, I hear it like Randy Savage saying it.
Oh my Lord.
Think about it like that, and then that's exactly how I hear it in my head.
All right, you know what? Jesse's comfortable. I'm going to tell him this story real quick. I work with a young man. His name is Jesse, and anybody who knows me knows I give everybody a nickname because I'm really bad at names. So I'm learning this kid, and one day he walked through the door, and I said, "Hey, Jesse Iwuji." He looked at me like I had 3 heads. I told him, Jesse Iwuji is a NASCAR driver. You should look him up. Okay, whatever. So we've shortened the name. He's now called Wooj. I don't know if you've ever been called Wooj. You're in the military. You had to have a nickname. Am I right? Did we lose Jesse? Uh-oh.
I think we might have
I scared him away. Oh, no. Blame it on the rain. I did it. Jesse, are you there, buddy? We'll let Jordan do his magic to see if we can't get Jesse Iwuji back on the line. But while we're here, I just got to say, the fact that we have not only a serviceman, but going back to the diversity thing that we talked about earlier, to have an African-American driver who is good and can do good things for the sport, not taking anything away from Bubba Wallace. But I think, in my mind, in my opinion, more people should get behind Jesse Iwuji based on the military thing, based on his focus on country. And not only that, he's balancing the military career with the racing career. And that is awesome.
Yeah.
That really is fantastic. Jordan, what are we looking at?
Jesse said his audio went out.
Oh, no. Okay.
So I know that I have to change.
Well, so much for the Wooj story. But if we connect with him again, great. If we don't, maybe we can get him again for a longer interview. What a really classy guy. I'm just going to say that now.
Oh, yeah.
Class act.
So thank you, Jesse, for being on the show.
Absolutely. Love to have you back, Jesse Iwuji. Please. Oh, look it. Tori, lift up your shirt. Show them boobs, man.
Bro, I don't have boobs, son.
Uh-oh.
Sorry
There
about
Oh,
he
is
is.
Jesse back? There he is.
Jesse is back.
My audio cut out, but I do have to go though to jump into my next thing. But thank y'all so much for having me on the show.
No problem. Please come back.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Again, I'm going to say it again. Classy. Just a real good dude. Speaking of good dudes, 1 week from today, Christian Eckes, driver of the number 98 Thor Sport Toyota, coming here to the Speedway review. Guys, don't miss it. Uh-oh. Jordan's going to die, isn't he? We do this every week. My man's going to get hit with a hammer, and he's going to be on cold case files. And oh, look at him! Oh my God!
Yeah, there he is. Still alive.
Someday Jordan's going to ban me from the show for making those jokes. Oh my Lord! Speaking of banned from the show, not that he's banned, but Tori, I got to ask you. I want you to pimp your place of business out for the people who may visit your area and want some really good food and really good drinks.
Oh, it's very simple, homie. 1 second, let me hit this cup.
Yo, vodka on the job is not a good thing. Uh-oh.
I don't really drink on the job, for real.
All right, Tito.
All right, it's simple as this right here. People who like bars but don't like bars. This is a place for you, bro. You got Xbox 360s and Xbox Ones on the wall, PS3s, PS4s. You got a fucking 6'5" rack full of nothing but board games. Doctor Who pinball machine. We got fire pit out back. You know, there's a little bit for everybody to do, bro.
Well, I didn't want to say it earlier, but Mark just kind of blew it. Mark's got the COVID.
Oh, that sucks.
So, Mark, I am going to miss you on Sunday, but we'll do the Zoom thing. Thank you for tuning in. And obviously, we don't need to ask who the great Baldini has picked for the race, which is Mark's nickname. He picks Brad Keselowski for this Sunday's race. And on Saturday, he's picking AJ Allmendinger. I don't even need to look. So, real quick, I know everybody, we're coming right down to the wire. Around the table, starting with Jordan. Thoughts on Jesse Iwuji?
Awesome dude. Great guy. And I told him good luck on his season, and he gave this symbol. So I look forward to having him back later this year.
Absolutely, 100%. Corey, your thoughts on tonight's talk with Jesse Iwuji?
Very humble man, down to earth, and great service member all around.
Absolutely, Tori.
What can I say, bro? Humble guy, man. Not letting the stereotypical black man shouldn't be in NASCAR shit. If he's heard it before, he's not letting that bother him. He has millions of brothers within the military that's pulling for him. Me personally, I'm pulling for him, not because he's African American, just because he's a military service man who's driving NASCAR. And as I always say, bro, they're one of, if not the bravest people in the world, because they follow their orders blindly and still do what they do. You know what I'm saying? As simple as that.
The old saying is you basically are writing a blank check that is payable with your life to serve your country. So to him and to all the service members around the world, current and even past, thank you. And furthermore, I have to say, when I would watch him race in the last year or two, it was always, I liked his name, and then you learn more about him. You learn he's a military man. You learn he's balancing the military career with the racing career, and you just have to give him mad respect for that. Yeah. You really do. And for me, it's an easy pick because, yeah, I'll buy the gear. I'll wear the gear proudly because a guy like Jesse Iwuji deserves our respect and our fandom. So I will implore all of you, not only on this show, but listening or watching this show, go out and get yourself some Jesse Iwuji gear and tell him we sent you, because that is the best thing, is to give this guy your love and respect going forward. I wish for great things for Jesse, and he's a relatively young guy. Let me pull that back up. He's 34 years old, which is not old by any stretch. He's not exactly one of the young guns, but let's give him all the love and respect we can. Jordan's giving up the wrap-up sign, so we're going to go. Don't forget, World of Auto Racing podcast, the Warp Show. That is now moving to Monday nights, which pretty much discludes me from ever doing the show, unless your other favorite podcast, Dysfunction Junction, takes a week off, and then I'll be able to do the show with Jordan, Corey, Tori, John Vandal, Jimmy Jack Funk, whoever he has joined the show. It's always a good time. Please look at that show as well as going out and downloading Dysfunction Junction. Jordan, I know you're giving us the wrap-up sign. Final thoughts before we say goodbye.
Just don't tear up the car.
Oh, good call. Corey, anything to say to the people?
So happy the fact that NASCAR is back, and I'm looking forward to this season.
Absolutely. Tori, my man, give it to us.
Shit, brother, it's gonna be, like I said, man, it's gonna be very interesting. We're gonna see what these next gen cars can do, and we're gonna see how it affects not only the outcome of races, but the cup standings within itself.
Absolutely. And my final thought is, drivers, start your engines. This is it. We'll see you guys next Wednesday with Christian Eckes and our Daytona wrap-up. In fact, I'm going to incorporate Christian into our Daytona wrap-up, and you will find out which of our drafted teams won the week. For all the guys, I say thank you, and join us next week. Goodbye, everybody.